Welcome to our deep dive into one of today's hottest topics: energy, society, and the environment. Whether you're a curious learner or passionate about sustainability, this is a conversation worth tuning into. From the true costs of energy to potential solutions, there's a lot to unpack. We'll explore everything from how much energy we're consuming to what that means for our planet and our future. Let's get started.
All right, here's a staggering stat to kick things off. Since the Industrial Revolution, the global population has increased about sevenfold, but energy consumption, it's skyrocketed 30 times over.
That's massive, and it's not just population growth driving it. It's how our lifestyles have evolved, from the way we work to how we live and consume.
Exactly, and this growth has its costs. We're seeing environmental degradation, public health issues, even a loss of biodiversity. It makes you wonder, what's our personal footprint in all of this?
That's a great point. Most of us rarely stop to consider our day-to-day energy use.
And here's something surprising. While we focus on our homes and cars, did you know that the industrial sector alone accounts for 32% of energy use in the US? That's right. Following that, transportation takes up 28%, residential 22%, and commercial services about 18%. Energy truly powers every part of modern life. So let's talk about oil. It's been the lifeblood of modern civilization, used for everything from transportation to plastics, but this reliance isn't exactly sustainable.
Not at all. The methods we use to extract oil, like tar sands and deep-water drilling, push environmental limits. These aren't just risky, they're dangerous, as the Deepwater Horizon disaster in 2010 painfully reminded us.
And the demand only increases as we move forward. It's not just oil either. Coal, often labeled as the dinosaur of energy sources, is still very much alive, especially in rapidly developing nations.
Right. James Hansen, a climate scientist, called coal the single greatest threat to civilization and all life on the planet. High carbon emissions, methane leaks from mining, and air pollution make coal a major environmental villain.
And it's not just the atmosphere, it's human health too. Communities near coal-fired power plants face higher rates of respiratory issues, heart disease, even cancer. The costs are both environmental and human. All right, switching gears. What about electricity? In the US, natural gas leads electricity production at 35.1%, followed by coal at 27.4%, with nuclear power and renewables trailing behind.
Natural gas often gets touted as a cleaner alternative to coal, but extraction methods, especially fracking, pose their own environmental and health risks, from groundwater contamination to even triggering earthquakes.
And then we have nuclear power. While it doesn't emit carbon dioxide directly, it does leave us with the challenge of radioactive waste that remains hazardous for thousands of years. Accidents like Chernobyl and Fukushima highlight the risks involved.
It's clear there are trade-offs with each energy source, which brings us to renewables. Solar, wind, hydroelectric, and geothermal energy all offer cleaner alternatives, but they're not without complexities. Take solar energy, for example. The sun could theoretically power the planet for a year with just an hour's worth of energy. But solar panels require resources to manufacture and can contain toxic materials that must be disposed of responsibly. And wind energy, those giant turbines have a low environmental footprint, but some people dislike their appearance and they can impact local wildlife, especially birds. Every source has pros and cons. It's about balance. Sustainable energy isn't just about flipping a switch, it's about adjusting our approach to consumption as well. Maybe we need to rethink our relationship with energy. The idea isn't just to replace one source with another, but to decouple our quality of life from constant energy consumption. Some studies even show that people in less energy-intensive societies report high levels of life satisfaction. So, are we chasing the wrong things by equating progress with more consumption? It's possible. For example, people who walk or bike to work often report lower stress levels than those who drive. Maybe we're happier when we consume less. So where do we go from here? It starts with awareness, understanding our personal energy footprint and making conscious choices. Small changes like using energy-efficient appliances, driving less, and supporting sustainable businesses can add up. And there's the larger picture too. We can support policies that encourage renewable energy, vote for leaders who prioritize sustainability, and advocate for things like carbon taxes and energy caps to create real change. At the end of the day, we're not just passive consumers, we can demand a better, more sustainable system.